Hey, Rich.
Hi.
Where are you? Hello, mate.
Go, come on up.
There you go.
Hello everyone. Thank you for coming. The Port Adelaide Board has just ratified Gavin Wanganeen as the member-elected director of the Port Adelaide Football Club. Now, we don't usually do big announcements or press conferences for the appointment of a director, but I thought we'd sort of break that mould a bit today just because of the historical significance of the appointment. And remember, this is a member-elected election, so our members have deemed it that Gavin Wanganeen is going to be the first Indigenous director of the Port Adelaide Football Club in its almost 150-year history. On top of that, Gavin's appointment is the first former Indigenous player to be appointed to any AFL board. And we think that is pretty incredible. And remember, this young bloke I'm sounding old now, this young bloke started with the club as a junior in the under-13s, won his first premiership for the Magpies as a 16-year-old. Of course, was our inaugural AFL captain, premiership winning player for us. And we couldn't be more delighted. I couldn't be prouder of the Port Adelaide members for making this decision, and such a historic decision. Gavin follows on from another legend of the club, Magpies legend George Fiarchi, whose term as a director finishes today, and I'd like to thank George for his input and his expertise over 6 years, and also is again a testament to our past players who, when you're part of the Port Adelaide family, you stay part of the Port Adelaide family, and George's contribution has been enormous. But congratulations to Gavin. The AFL really understand the significance of this appointment for an AFL club. So well done, Gavin. Happy to open it up for questions. If you want to quiz Gavin on his appointment, go for it.
Gavin, what made you want to become a board member rather than take any other path in football post footy? What's your view about being a director?
Yeah, well, having played many years of football at this great club, Port Adelaide Footy Club, like Koshi mentioned, I remember jumping on a bus out at Salisbury on a Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m, a bus that our dear Bobby Clayton, leader of his club, provided for the junior footballers out in the northern suburbs. I jumped on that bus, and little did I know that how far it would take me, just that decision to jump on that bus every Monday and Wednesday. In a blinking of an eye, your footy career goes so fast, and now that I've been out of the game for, I think it's 9, possibly 10 years, you watch the club as a fan, but as a past player who has experienced success on the big stage and winning premierships. That's an inner deeper passion of mine, and I thought it might be time to seriously look at nominating for the board and go into an environment where you are able to make a significant contribution on some decisions that are going to shape your club going forward. So that excited me.
Did Koshi rope you in, or was this your decision?
No, look, it was my decision. I think you have chats with various people around the club and other clubs, and just people in general who you are close to around decisions like this. So it just all felt right for me, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge. And I'm a very, very passionate Port Adelaide person, past player, played with passion. I really want to see, this club experience, especially the players. From my point of view, the players experience, premiership glory. It's something that I would love to see the modern day group experience in the short term.
Gavin, what are you hoping to achieve personally, by becoming a board member of Adelaide?
Yeah, what am I hoping to achieve personally? I think I've only just been elected, so there'll be some meetings and some catch-ups with Koshi and the board going forward, and to see where I can play my role. Obviously, I've many years of experience around football, the football department, and community, Indigenous community, which I'm really passionate about. So we'll see what sort of role they want me to play. But it'll be a passionate role, that's for sure.
Is there a direction you feel the club's gone beyond footy? It's much bigger than a footy club nowadays. Is there a direction you think it needs to aim beyond just footy?
Yeah, like I said before, Rich, I think I've only just been elected, so I look forward to seeing, what plans that have already been put in place from the board, and see which direction they want us to go in from the top level. So I'll have a look at that and see, what my thoughts are on that, and see how I can fit in to make a valuable contribution.
Also important to realise as well, we promised a review and a reset of the club after last year's disappointment of not making the finals. We've had a specific focus of improving the skills of the directors in terms of football in the board going forward. Gavin joins Darren Cale as our most recent appointment, globally renowned as one of the elite tennis coaches, and will be contributing as well. So it's very much a focus of the board that we get the football expertise more around the board table, and that's where Gavin and Darren Cale will be particularly useful. Both of them will be on the football committee dealing with the football department as board representatives. So it's really important to strengthen that IP.
What has been the first Indigenous board member?
Yeah, being the first Indigenous past player board member of any of the teams in the AFL is extremely, makes me feel really proud. Many years ago, I became the first Indigenous player to win a Brownlow medal, and then 300 AFL games, and now to be the first Indigenous past player board member. There's a lot of firsts there, but it's something I'm extremely proud about. Our Indigenous numbers in this game of ours, wonderful game of AFL, have been pretty high for many years. I think it's around the 10-11%. So to see those percentages go up and transfer over into other areas of the AFL, I think is really important. And hopefully this is a path going forward for the next generation, and get them excited to do things like this.
Kevin, on the data point about improving the football aspect of Port Adelaide, particularly after what happened last year, do you have a view of what you saw at Port Adelaide last year that needs to change this year?
Yeah, look, there was some great exciting footy played by our boys. I think there are a few challenges around injuries and so on, but look, when it comes to our board members, our board meetings, and when it comes to me giving my advice, I guess that's probably where my best work will be done, Rich, behind closed doors. But I feel that I'm well positioned to make a very significant contribution towards our football program and our football culture, and I'm really excited to play my role. I'm really passionate about it.
Koshi, before I ask you a question, just on that
Sure.
review of the second half of the year,
Yep.
the slide out of the finals. What were the key, I suppose, notes between you and Ken from that? I suppose the discussions, which I'm sure you had.
And I think the result of those discussions is seeing the reset of the football department as well. It is new assistant coaches coming in terms of Montgomery and Schofield, and Port Adelaide, sort of ex-Port Adelaide players who know the Port Adelaide way. I think Ken's already talked about, and that we'll be changing our game style this year. So when I said at the end of last year that there would be a total review of the organisation from the top to the bottom, I meant it, because it stung last year. We're all still recovering from it, but we're looking forward and making sure that we learn those lessons from last year. And I think we're showing that we have learnt those lessons. And, every club's confident in February. If you're not confident in February, you shouldn't be in the AFL. But we think there have been some significant changes made, and we're pretty happy with the way we're travelling at the moment.
Was it a narrow result or a landslide?
Look, we don't sort of give out results, because I think it's really important to respect the other three nominees in the election, and we really thank them for nominating as well, because 2 member elected board seats, and it's incredibly important that we're a community club. We've been going 149 years. Our members have a big say in the club, and we're very transparent. So we don't give specifics in detail, but it would be fair to say that Gavin's win was fairly comprehensive.
And Gavin, just from you, I guess George obviously wanted to keep his seat, he's an old teammate. Have you spoken to him, or how do you feel about that yourself?
Yeah, look, it's George sent me a text actually to congratulate me yesterday, so it was nice to receive that from him. You feel a little bit I don't know how to describe that feeling for one of your past teammates who misses out on the position that you're going for. I guess it's tough in a way, but the reality of it is I think it's a great opportunity for me. It's the right timing for me in the position I'm in my life. I'm just really excited to actually, get to work and play a role.
And we don't lose George. George will, George has got great IP in terms of being with the club for 6 years. He knows our agenda. We have a series of board committees where non-directors are part of that board committee on governance and finance and brand and marketing, and George will be playing part of that. I spoke to him yesterday. He's away on a conference in Thailand at the moment, and we'll be talking further when he gets back, and he's considering which board committees would suit him. So we certainly don't lose George, and that's the great thing about the club, that everyone's just so passionate about it, and the more that get involved, the luckier we are.
Last couple of guys, Dave's got a board meeting to get back to, so any others?
What do you think will be the biggest challenges this year going into the season?
Biggest challenges this year going into the season is just improving. It is staggering how close the AFL is at the moment. The AFL have always said the ideal is for every supporter of every club to go to every game and think their team's in with a chance. That's great, except if you're the president of a team, because you end up having a heart attack every year because of every game, because it's so close. Someone said to me it's like a bacon and egg roll. The chook has a passing interest, the pig's committed, and as a president you feel pretty committed. And considering the difference between, what was it, 3rd and 13th last season was 2 games, it is just a competition of fine margins and pressure points, and we've got to learn how to handle those pressure points. But
You took over a club that was financially stable.
Yep.
Is it better today?
Is the club financially better today? I would hope so. And yes, we've got a financially sustainable business model. We'll be discussing more of that quite openly at the AGM tonight. But yeah, I think in 2012 we lost, depending on how you account for it, between $2 and $5 million, and we're making operating profits at the moment. So, and more importantly, fully funding our football program. And ever since I've been involved, we have had a fully funded football program. And you talked a bit before about the business direction of the club. All of those directions are there for one purpose only, and that is to fully fund our football department. Our number one aim, and it's our mission statement in the boardroom, is to win to win premierships. We exist to win premierships and make our community proud. So we put our money into football department and community. The lack of a joint major last year put us under some financial pressure, but we didn't cut back our community commitments or our football commitment, because we're a community club, and we think that's the right thing to do.
Thanks, David. You're welcome.
Made some strong words on radio that I'd say about Jack Watts. Have you spoken to Jack personally?
Through Chris Davies. That's not my. I don't think it's the right protocol to talk directly. It should go through the football department. Otherwise, people get mixed messages on who their actual boss is. But he knows my feelings. I was pretty open about it the other day on radio and in the paper. So, but as I said at the time, since Jack's come back from the off season, his behaviour changes have been significant and noticeable, and that's really all you can expect.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Very good.